Hi everyone, welcome back to Enamel Heroes. So today we are back with the answers of the questions that I have given about the Viva questions on oral medicine and radiology. So let's see what are the answers of those questions. So the first question was define X-ray and its uses. So it is defined as weightless package of pure energy that are without electrical charge and that travel in waves along the straight line with a specific frequency and the speed. Okay, so now let's see the uses. It is widely used in radiology, that is for diagnostic uses in medicine as well as in dentistry. For medical legal cases, it is also used for radiotherapy, spectroscopy, sterilization and photochemistry. So the next question was, first X-ray tube was invented by, so it is invented by Sir William Crookes. Now the third question was Crookes tube called as, so the Crookes tube called as discharge tube. It is also called as cold cathode tube. Now the next question was, what kind of tube we are using today? So nowadays we are using Coolidge tube, and this is called hot cathode tube. Okay. Now the next question was parts of X-ray machine. So X-ray machine basically has three parts. First is the control panel, second is the extension arm, and third is the tube head. So this is the diagram. This is the tube head. This you can see, this is the extension arm and this is the control panel. So these are the parts of the X-ray tube or X-ray machine, I would say. Now the next question was, what are the primary components of X-ray machine? So the primary component of X-ray machine are as follows. It has X-ray tube and the power supply. For the power supply we have transformers. Next question is, what is cathode, its part and their function? So basically cathode is negatively charged. So it is a negatively charged part and it has two parts. First is filament, second is focusing cup. Now let's see what is the function of filament. It is a source of electron and this filament is made up of tungsten, very important, star mark. Now the second part is the focusing cup. It is made up of molybdenum and its function is, it electrostatically focuses the electron which is emitted from the filament into a narrow beam to the focal spot. So it focuses the electrons that are emitting from the filament into a narrow beam and it targets it to the focal spot. Okay. Now the next question was, what is anode, its part and their function? So anode is positively charged and its part is focal spot. So this focal spot is a part and it is made up of tungsten, and what it does, it basically converts the kinetic energy of the electron to the X-ray photon. These are very important, these are basically asked. So the question is, why do we use focal spot made up of tungsten only? Why not any other material? So we use tungsten because of the following characteristics. That is, it has a high atomic number, that is 74. It has a high melting point, that is 3422 degrees Celsius. So it has high thermal conductivity and low vapor pressure. Okay. Now the next question was, what is angle of truncation? So the angle of truncation is 20 degrees. So why do we keep angle of truncation 20 degrees? So the reason is to achieve larger surface area at the anode of the copper stem so that maximum heat produced is absorbed by the large surface area. So that is why the angle of the truncation as 20 degrees. Now the next question is, the glass envelope is made up of. So the glass envelope is made up of, it is highly evacuated glass tube made up of lead beryllium glass. So it is lead beryllium glass. Now the next question is, why do we need vacuum inside the X-ray tube? So in order to prevent the collision of the moving electrons which were inside the X-ray tube with the gas molecules, that would basically reduce the kinetic energy of the electron and therefore reduce the speed of the electron. This is the first reason, and the second is to prevent the oxidation of the tungsten filament. Now the next question is power supply use. So the use of power supply is to heat the filament in order to generate the electron and to establish the high voltage potential difference between cathode and the anode. And because of this difference in the potential difference of the voltage, there is a flow of the electron. Now next is define tube voltage and tube current. So tube voltage we record in kVp and tube current we record in milliampere. So tube voltage, it decides the speed of the electron. Tube voltage decides the speed of the electron and it determines the quality of the beam. Don't get confused between the quality and the quantity of the beam. So tube voltage basically determines the speed of the electron and the quality of the beam. For IOPR, the tube voltage is generally between 60 to 70 kVp. Now let's see what is tube current. It is generally 1 to 1.5 milliampere and it determines the quantity of the beam. It determines the quantity of the beam. Okay. Now the next question is type of transformers. So there are two types of transformers, step-up transformer and the step-down transformer. The use of step-up, it produces high voltage, step-down produces low voltage, and it creates the potential difference, and step-down to produce the thermoionic emission and heat the cathode and forms the electron cloud. The voltage is 6500 volt and here the voltage is minus 10 volt. Now the next question is factors controlling the X-ray beams. This is very important. Lot of questions can be from this section. So there are certain factors that control the X-ray beam. First is the exposure time, second is tube current, then tube voltage, then we have filtration, then we have collimation, and then we have inverse square law. So if we increase the exposure time, then the number of the photon emitted will also get increased. Now we see tube voltage. If we increase the tube voltage, then number of the photon generated increases, kinetic energy of the photon increases, and the maximal energy of the photon also increases. This is very important. What happens, the question can come like this: what happens if you increase the tube voltage? So these are the following things that get increased. Now filtration. So the question is what kind of filter we use. So we use aluminium filter. And now what is the use of the filtration? It removes the low energy photon. Then next is the collimation. So there are two types of collimation. So it is basically used to shape and restrict the size of the X-ray beam. Now what happens if we shape and restrict the size of the X-ray beam? It reduces the patient exposure and it improves the quality. Now for questions 17, 18 and the 19, for this please refer to the other video, that is I have made a separate video on bisecting angle technique and paralleling angle technique. So you can just refer to that video. So let me just tell you what are the questions. So the question 17 is intraoral radiograph technique, that is bisecting angle technique and paralleling angle technique. 18 is vertical angulation. 19 is explain about the foreshortening and elongation. And 20 is how many dental films required for full mouth X-ray, IOPR. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much. For the remaining questions, I'll be making part B or part 2. So thank you so much.